come to you. There was no point in setting up a shop that didn't carry my own name, because the press would reveal all that this shop was run by shock horror me. The Spectator, I think, had a cartoon showing a shop window, and in the shop window with shirts, it said, little sign saying, shirt lifters will not be prosecuted. I saw the funny side of that, so I've now got that on the wall of the shop.
Next week, as Oliver, he'd do anything. Child star Mark Lester.
I think I'd still be the same person, whether I had experienced that kind of fame or not.
From hamburgers to Hollywood, gladiator Eunice Hutt-Hart.
I pinch myself every day and call myself a right lucky cow, really.
And strangler Jean-Jacques Burnell still dishing it out.
In fact, after they were famous returns on the 8th of January, and next Thursday it's Tarrant on TV.
But there's only 5 left.
ITV Christmas Entertainment, sponsored by Rennie.
Tis the season of goodwill to all men, unless they happen to be trying to buy this year's hottest toy.
You got the doll, right?
The doll. Arnold Schwarzenegger is on his toughest mission yet, to get the ideal gift for his son.
I'm trying to find a Turbo Man doll.
And he'll do anything to get the job done.
You want a Turbo Man for Christmas?
Forget it, I'm not gonna sit in your lap.
Well, almost. Jingle All The Way, Christmas Eve at 6, ITV.
If you like to party, pocket the best party in town ever at Asda. "42 frolicking festive favourites to get your party going. Pocket the best party in town ever at our best $14.99. That's Asda price.
The bank I want to bank with is happy to provide accounts with debit cards. The customers are simply required to demonstrate a sound financial record.
Oh dear, there'll be another no then.
Home sweet home with my love.
He's cleaning his teeth.
Home sweet home.
First girlfriend.
First kisses.
Well, I will always be there, yes. Home.
And luckily, another first, the new Power Clean from Aquafresh. The only AA battery brush to work three-dimensionally to get to plaque and trapped food debris. A flexible neck and a wonderful clean, whatever your reason.
Men.
The new Aquafresh Power Clean, teeth taken care of.
Tomorrow night at 10:30, we've classic comedy with Morecambe and Wise. Now, though, it's pulling power.
Pulling power with ixm.co.uk, where cars go faster.
This week, could this smart two-seater from Mercedes be the perfect city car? From London to Saint-Tropez, the classic car race that's all woman. And Gail Porter has a brief fling with the new 206 Cabriolet.
The launch of BMW's new Mini at the Paris Motor Show recently caused a real stir. But the bad news for all you Mini lovers out there is you won't be able to get your hands on one until next June. But the good news is there's a British company that's planning to put one on our streets 3 months before that. But before you reach for your driving gloves, it's only a toy.
The BMW Mini is about to be given the Corgi treatment. It's being measured up for a miniature production run, but it's by no means the first Mini they've made.
And you people have had a love affair with this car stretching back for years, haven't you?
We have, James. We've been making Minis almost as long as Austin Rover. And, you know, over that time, I reckon we've probably made more than they actually made of the real thing.
Yeah, you probably have. You've always had a big thing about TV cars and movie cars and celeb cars.
Celebrity cars, yeah, like this one over here, for example, with the wicker sides. That car in the 60s was the height of fashion. It was actually driven by Peter Sellers. Coming more up to date, the car was the star in Mr. Bean with Rowan Atkinson.
Now, it's not necessarily the celeb cars that fetch the big money nowadays. This Mini over here, I'm told that's worth about 250 quid. Why?
It is. It's a racing Mini made during the 60s, but you see, we didn't make quite so many of those particular liveries as we did the standard colours.
Minis, we love them.
We do.
They've probably produced more cars than the whole of the British motor industry put together, as well as giving kids countless hours of fun. And this massive collection of memorabilia is housed at the British Motor Heritage Trust near Gaydon.
It's brilliant. In Toy Town, the buses always run on time. But why are they so collectible?
Because in Britain, we love our buses. Now, abroad, they don't really collect them at all. But here, we buy them in great quantities and we love them. This one's a Routemaster. Really nice old model. Today, it's worth about £150, but you had to keep it mint and boxed.
If you collect these things, you're sad. 2 to Dagenham, please, love. Ah, Volvo P1800. Now, you don't see many of these anymore, do you?
No, you don't. It was a nice car, wasn't it? Corgi had a real stroke of luck making this model, you know, because they introduced it, sold quite well, did all right. But then the television company introduced a brand new series called The Saint, starring Roger Moore. This was the star of it. And so all the Corgi needed to do was repaint it white. They put a little Saint logo on the bonnet, and it sold like hotcakes.
And that's where it all started, this kind of love affair with the movies and TV.
Absolutely, that's where the whole TV merchandising thing started.
Goldfinger, what a beautiful motor car. This James Bond Aston Martin is the business, isn't it?
It really is. To be honest, James, the whole Bond range is really great fun and it's been really popular over the years. The original models of this DB5, if they're in good condition, are seriously collectible now. And it's a great fun toy as well, with operating ejector seat, bulletproof shield, rotating number plates. Do you know, we've sold over 14 million of these.
14 million?
Fantastic.
That's incredible. I love this cabinet generally. Look at all these fantastic toys. Look at this, Lotus Esprit. Isn't that wonderful? With the old Spy Who Loved Me car with the fins and the underwater stuff.
And then when it came out, the pop-up rockets at the back that fire out.
Now, pay attention, 007. I want you to lend me the keys to the Aston. I've got a bit of a hot date. I have one of these, and you push the button, and the blade comes out, the Batmobile. Fantastic.
Holy smoke, it was a wonderful model, actually, wasn't it? It was great. And also, you get rockets that fire out the back. These are worth £350 if you get an early one mint and boxed. And there's little things to look out for, like the very early ones had a little flame effect at the back that would move around as you moved it along. Yeah, and that's all right. That's the one. You had a good one.
And I wrecked it.
Oh.
I don't know, maybe there is something to this collecting lark after all. I mean, this car here, a 1973 Ferrari Daytona. Isn't it beautiful? My father was the team manager of this car when it raced at Le Mans 24 Hours. I was only 6 years old and he wouldn't let me go with him, so he gave me a model like this. Car didn't finish the race. I've still got the model.
Well, you won't be able to get your hands on this model Mini till April. But meanwhile...
Haha, a real pulling power exclusive. I couldn't resist the temptation to be the first behind the wheel of a new BMW Mini. So, what's it like to drive? Well, frankly, it's awful. The steering is solid, as is the gear lever, and there's no brakes. The dashboard is a bit plasticky. In fact, the overall build quality is best described as tinny. Still, this is Toy Town, but it's the best car you could possibly have in a fuel crisis. All you need is a little helping hand.
If ever there was a car whose time had finally come, it must be the Mercedes Smart. This funky two-seater micro is the perfect answer to those rising fuel prices and congested roads. So we thought, let's put one to the test around the tight, twisty lanes of those beautiful West Country villages. Well, that was the plan. Simple, isn't it? walk all the way to the back of the car, conveniently located on the right side, because this is a left-hand drive car. Nozzle, neck, insert, pull trigger. Well, let me tell you, if you were stupid enough to do that, you'd be putting fuel into the air intake. The petrol would be going actually into the air filter. Can you believe it? That's just more or less a design feature there. A very confusing one. What you have to do is ignore that and go to the other side to the real fuel filler. Now, I think that is possibly, no, certainly the most stupid design feature I've ever seen in the history of the automotive world. And I tell you, unless Mercedes rectify that fault very, very quickly, they're going to have some very, very disgruntled smart customers on their hands. It goes in there. Well, washing it's got to be easier than refuelling it. I've just had a bit of a row with a bloke in the garage because I went in and asked for half a car wash token, and he said, well, what are you talking about? Do you want a token or not? I said, look, mate, I've got half a car, I want half a token. If you're lazy like me, you'll love washing this car. It takes just a few seconds. The film crew think they're clever, but I'm standing out in the rain, washing the car while they're all undercover, but what they don't realise is I'm armed, and somebody is about to get soaked. How do you like it? Only joking. The smart car. Small to fuel, small to wash, and small to park. We're talking toy cars with power, well around 600cc. The gearbox, I have to say, is horribly complicated. It's a sort of semi-automatic sequential gearbox. It's fancy, it's state-of-the-art, and I think it's overly complicated. They either need in it a straightforward manual or a straightforward automatic. To give you the option of the two adds money to the car. That means you're paying for it, and I think it's ridiculously complicated. Launched at the Birmingham Motor Show, the smart car certainly is a head-turner. Prices start at $5,400 and rise to a mere $7,100. Well, with the greatest respect, if you don't like this interior, you don't know what you're talking about, because it's wonderful. I mean, it's just brilliant. Look at all these little adjustable bits here. Great build quality, nice quality feel to everything. The heater works beautifully, as I found out at 5:30 this morning. All the materials are, well, it's just something like we've never seen before. Very futuristic, very, very spacious in here, very light in here, far roomier than you might possibly imagine. Only one problem, radio. FM only, no medium wave. Another mistake, Mercedes. 1, 2, it's got to be the shortest car in the world, and that's got to be the shortest bonnet. I know what you're thinking, you wouldn't want to hit a brick wall in that, would you? But Mercedes assure us there is a safety cell there, and this car, well, it's safer than it looks. At the rear here, much wider than you might think, and sportier too. Look, there's a lovely little glass hatch here, and this load lugging area big enough to put in a full-size suitcase. You know, I'm madly in love with this car, but I tell you, a very cruel truck driver earlier today leant out of his window. He said, where'd you get that car, mate? Out of a cornflakes box? Well, sort of. The smart car. Small enough to fit in a cereal packet. Well, that's where we thought this piece would end, but after we stopped filming, the car, with only 400 miles on the clock, developed a minor fault. Its engine expired. Why? Well, after Mercedes had examined the car, they gave us this explanation. And I quote, apparently the problem was to do with an overheating issue in the cylinder, which basically meant the piston seized in the cylinder and caused the problem. The technicians have never seen that before. It's quite unusual for that to actually happen. There was a fracture in that particular engine, but this was a one-off incident.
We're in Paris, where competitors are lining up for the start of a gruelling 5-day classic car rally to the south of France. But the Rallye des Princesses is no ordinary event. It's for women only. Oh, and a small white dog. Women have been rallying since the beginnings of the sport. The Rallye of Princesses was an annual event from the 1930s to the 1970s, but only this year has it been resurrected. The British team are Anne Locks and Lady Pauline Harris from London, driving a 1961 MGA. They've come prepared for pretty well everything, except perhaps the language barrier.
Where can I set my Synchronise the watch, the time. Shall I get my dictionary?
The competitors may have introduced some glamour to the male-dominated world of rallying, but many also see the event as a statement of girl power.
We're not quite training ourselves to the railings, are we?
Right, but it's quite nice to go out and do well where,
yes,
where men think motorsport is a men's world, really.
Que les femmes soient un tout petit peu plus douces au volant que les messieurs. Mais le résultat est aussi efficace.
Moi, sur la route, pas un homme me double. Non, 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 non.
For an old car, I think it's better to be a woman to drive it because you need to be very careful. No?
Yes.
If I go to a dinner party, you have all the wives sitting down discussing fashion and things, and I'm in the corner talking cars with the men, which can be quite embarrassing. This is my holiday. There's no husband, no children, no telephone, nobody can get hold of you.
At the age of 37, she knew she'd found forever as she rode along through Paris with a warm wind in her hair.
Unfortunately, the reality doesn't always match the dream. The rally is about to start, but the engine won't.
5, 4, 3.
The first competitors are already setting off, and Pauline and Anne's start time is fast approaching. The women are quite prepared to get their hands dirty, but typically it's not long before the men start poking their noses in and taking over. While the other competitors are getting underway, Pauline and Anne have missed their start time and are getting nowhere fast.
How are you in for pushing, for a jump start?
All the other competitors are now on their way, and as the rally organisers begin to pack up, Pauline and Anne's MG remain stranded and alone. At last, they're on their way. With a bit of luck, they might even make it. Find out how they get on after the break. Also in Part 2, Gail Porter gets a first drive of Peugeot's new topless 206.
Hi, I've come to fix the fridge.
It's over here. It's so hot.
Probably your thermostat.
Stop! This blue movie is not ready yet. Where's this guy's moustache? Why is he actually fixing the fridge? You can't rush these things, guys. It's like making Grolsch. It's brewed longer for a fuller taste. Now, let's try that again.
Hi, I've come to fix your fridge.
It's over here. It's so...
Now, that's beautiful.
I'll just get my wrench out.
The new pivotal trimmer from Babyliss sculpts, crafts and styles. The cutting edge from Babyliss Professional.
We were going to do a taste test with another leading stimulation drink, but 3 flavours against 1. It just ain't fair, is it?
It may be winter outside.
Spend Boxing Day with Frank Skinner, Jamie Bell and Kylie Minogue.
Joy and pleasure, baby. Can one girl be?
Join me for my Christmas show, Boxing Day, 10:15, ITV.
Peugeot were one of the first to start the whole folding roof thing off back in 1900 and something or other with the 401 Eclipse. It's now time for Peugeot to take technology into the 21st century. Please meet the 206 Cabriolet Coupe.
Peugeot's new baby has lots of bits in common with the standard 206 that's produced in Coventry, but this souped-up cousin with a mechanised top is made in France.
From here, it could be your average 206. It's not till you get up you see that changes have been happening. You see here, though, you've got to mind your head, especially if you're quite tall, because it could be quite nasty. The doors, a little bit clunky for my liking. I like them to be a little bit quieter, especially after a night out. Oh, talking of nights out, usually you've got drinks containers. This has actually got a whole bottle container. Bottle of water, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4! Yeah, looks-wise, car is very, very sporty, but yet, when you put your foot down, it's not quite as sporty as you hoped it would be.
Which is a little surprising, really. The engine's a straight lift from the 206 GTI, where it certainly doesn't hang about. But then, this car's really more about style, and the Cabriolet Coupe certainly comes packed to the brimful both inside and out.
1, 2, 3, 4! They say that the sun always shines on TV. Well, no, actually, it doesn't. Not when I don't want it to, because I've got some slick roof action to show you here, and when I demand rain, rain shall come. Cool. I have had a few looks. Everyone has a wee look, because it is a stunning-looking little car. Nice?
Very, very nice.
What kind of car do you have?
Yes.
They call this a 2+2, which means 2 wee people in the front and 2 wee people in the back. For someone like me, it's fine. I could probably get my little midget friends in the back, but if you're a big grown-up person, you wouldn't be able to get anyone in the back there. I did find, though, that when I was going around some of the bends, this was slightly in the way and I couldn't quite see around the corner. But it looks very nice. Colour is lovely. I just don't have a top that goes with it, though. I'll have to invest in one. You can't come to Saint-Tropez without doing a bit of shopping. My mum always says never do horizontal stripes. I can't go anywhere without doing a bit of shopping, actually. Keep my heat warm. I don't think it's me, really.
But with the folding roof down, will there still be enough space in the boot?
The ultimate test, can it fit my shopping? It is quite a tight squeeze. Oh, got a bit left for some more. We can do a little bit more shopping. Oh, isn't that a shame? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I think they've probably got a bit of a winner on their hands. The only thing to touch the roof technology is a Mercedes SLK, but you'll need much deeper pockets. Talking prices, in the UK, the 206cc will sell for nearly £16,000. This left-hand drive version weighs in at just over 12 grand in France. Makes you think, doesn't it?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, you may be wondering what a vacuum cleaner is doing on a motoring programme. Hang on, I'll just switch it off. Noisy, isn't it? And that's your clue. Imagine living with that level of noise day in, day out. Well, that's just what it's like for people living near this road, the A30 at Marsh Green near Honiton in Devon. On a typical day, the level of continuous noise for people living about 100 metres away from this road is higher than your average vacuum cleaner would make. The culprit? Concrete roads. Graham Rock is an acoustics expert. For many years, he's been advising companies and campaign groups on noise levels. So, Graham, what exactly is this reading?
This is a sound level meter. It's reading the noise level in decibels. And at the moment, we're getting a noise level of 84 decibels here. It's the kind of noise level at which you'd probably want to have hearing protection if you had to work in this level all day.
Now, this road has got a concrete surface. How would that decibel level compare with a road with a modern blacktop surface?
A modern blacktop surface would be at least 8 decibels quieter.
Is that a lot quieter?
Yes, subjectively, it's almost half the volume.
And that makes a big difference for drivers.
I mean,
Just listen to that. See the contrast? Back on black surface road again. Really is a difference. Even the way the car handles is different. There's the concrete surface again. There's a real contrast.
What exactly is making the noise?
It's the interaction of the tyres on the concrete surface, and the surface has got grooves which are put there to give it skid resistance.
Maureen Jones has first-hand experience. She's been tirelessly leading the campaign to get the road resurfaced since it opened just 1 year ago.
Well, we were all just appalled by the level of the noise. No one had expected the noise to be as it was. It was just something completely out of this world as far as we were concerned.
But you must have been expecting a certain level of increase in noise.
We were, but because we were worried about the noise, right at the beginning at the public inquiry we made representations there, and in fact the inspector in his report actually made recommendations that the quietest possible surface should be used on this road.
And was it?
No. The noisiest possible surface was used on this road as far as we're concerned, and I think that's been generally acknowledged now.
So why was that recommendation ignored? We asked the contractors responsible for this stretch of road why they used noisy concrete. Continuously reinforced concrete pavement was a permitted option for the competitively tendered project. It was adopted to suit whole life and operational requirements both during construction and its envisaged 40-year life. But the protests haven't fallen on deaf ears. Staggeringly, despite costing £750 million, the road is now going to be resurfaced yet again.
The government have made a pledge, haven't they, within 10 years that noisy roads like this one will be resurfaced. So does that give you any comfort?
It gives us a little comfort, and we were very pleased that they are going to do that, and we were particularly pleased that they're going to do it in other parts of the country as well. But they've given no pledge as to when they're going to do it in the next 10 years, and from our point of view we feel that it's got to be done sooner rather than later.
So does the fight go on?
The fight does go on.
Earlier we saw Pauline and Anne set off across the back roads of France in an all-female classic car race. Through Vichy, Central Massif and Provence, they navigated their way across hundreds of miles of remote roads, recording their journey on this home video. 5 days later, they arrive in Saint Raphael on the Riviera, crossing the finish line in 4th place.
We've made it. Fantastic. Yes, we're here. We're hot, we're tired, and it was good. It was fantastic. We're definitely ready for a drink, a big drink, and lots of it.
Last one in gets the bumps, but at least everyone's made it, including the dog. And the competitors have struck another blow for girl power. Cheers, ladies. That's it for this show. In the next programme, the best and worst of 2000. We road test the car of the year and reveal the cars that you really shouldn't put on your Christmas wish list. And why not check out our website for more information on items in this programme, plus details of how to win an LPG-powered Range Rover. See you next week.
Pulling Power is back next Thursday night at 10:30.
Pulling Power with ixm.co.uk, where cars go faster.
I won £38 million on the Euro Lottery last week, and I don't quite know what to do with it.
I'm not leaving, Alison.
I love you. Go round, She's gorgeous.
What do you think your husband David's going to say when he finds out about the truth?
What's happening?
30 million.
Divert. Go round.
What you've done, if you think about it, actually, is worse.
Worse? I'm sick of being bulldozed and bullied into doing things I don't want to do just because it makes everybody feel better.
We're millionaires, we can do what we like.
Money makes the world go around, of that we can be sure. I'm being poor.
In 50 minutes here on Carlton, Beverly Turner presents the up-to-the-minute gossip from the music world with videos and chart news. Videotech is at 11:50.
Good morning, Mr. Hand.
Now.
I'm mad now.
Anything is
Having fun?
possible.
Difficult to be a walk in the park for you.
Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible 2 on video and DVD.
At Comet, we've promised you lower prices this Christmas. That's why right now we're lowering the prices of yet another 200 top products right across the store. And of course, we still guarantee to beat any sale or voucher price offers anyone else comes up with. Lower prices this Christmas. That's Comet Sense.
The all-new Ford Mondeo. A car so clever, it's creating quite a following. It has an electronic brain which constantly watches over the driver and passengers and controls safety devices which respond in milliseconds. It's Ford's intelligent protection system. Such advanced technology seems to be attracting a little interest. The all-new Ford Mondeo, built to lead. Whatever you get over Christmas, make sure it's what she really wants. Younger-looking skin that looks and feels its best. Olay for Christmas. Worth giving, worth waiting for.
Sorry now. Sorry now.
Alka-Seltzer XS, for when you're not feeling on top of the world.
Call the all-new chatback now on 09060 70 70 70. It's the fun way to make new friends. And who knows, with our new message dating service, you could meet that extra special person. So call the all-new chatback now on 09060 70 70 70. That's 09060 70 70 70.
Take a trip to the fort and you'll find there's no stopping the shopping.
The Fort Shopping Park. It's safe for Mummy, and later, it's safe for you.
Hello, Mum.
David got himself a bang-up-to-date mobile phone. He threatened another youth and stole it in broad daylight.
Yeah, I've got to go now, Mum.
Now, he's banged up in prison. If you do the crime, you'll do the time.
On ITV2 now, Emmerdale, while here on Carlton, it's the news.
Hamilton's ruined as cash for questions appeal fails. Mouldy meat scam gang convicted of selling hundreds of tons. Madonna's child in the limelight tonight. Son Rocco is christened. And home for Christmas after months kidnapped in the jungle.
From ITN, the ITV Nightly News with Dermot Monaghan.
Good evening. The former